a decision about what needs to be done and figure out a way to immediately solve the problem. So that what finally ends up happening is that you, through the course of your journey, figure out a way to most successfully come to an end and to get the problem solved. But most of that has to be, and this is the imperative, because this is where so many people fail. Because, you know, the people that you're trying to help, and it doesn't make any difference where they are. It doesn't make any difference if they're in Kenya or Tanzania or Louisiana or Hokkaido or down the road. It doesn't matter. The thing that has to happen whenever you go in and try to do anything in the community is that the community wants to, they have to have a problem.
Yeah, they have to have a problem. Yes.
They have to want you to be there. They have to want to cooperate with you.
Yes.
So there's all of those things have to happen. It's imperative. They have to happen. They have to want to bring you into the community. And if one of those things doesn't happen, then you're a visitor.
But for example, like I tried to find a problem here. Perhaps they don't need me.
Maybe not, which is okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not.
They don't notice. They don't see.
They don't notice, they don't care, they're not ready. Maybe the kind of problem that exists is not something that you can recognize or that they want to acknowledge, or maybe it's not something that needs to be addressed just yet. If you go digging around for something, then maybe you could just be shouting into an empty cave. Or, you know, it's working with people can be working as a problem solver in the community is a very important role, but that's half of the educational process, because one of the things that is really important is there's three other things: helping artists understand what they can do, helping understanding as an artist how effective you can be, and what things you can be effective at, then helping the community understand the role of the artist and what they can do and how they can contribute.
Yeah, of course.
Because so many, still, people understand art from the Renaissance period. They understand that whole system of hierarchy where there's a number of artists that are very good at what they do. So, and if you give them money, then they get better. And then they cater to a specific audience that has money. So what happens to everyone else? What happens to the entire other population of individuals that don't have money to throw at something that is, you know, not useful? The second thing is what happens to all of that other kind of art that had a use, that was integrated into the society, that people could use, that people understood and incorporated into their daily lives every day. What happens to all of those artists? What happens to all of that art? What happens to that whole other part of usefulness that we serve in a society? It goes away because nobody supports it. Nobody understands, acknowledges, or accepts it as art, because suddenly it has no value. Because the only thing that has value is those other people, those people that have a lot of money, take that quote-unquote art and raise it to some sort of point that almost becomes unreachable by most of the rest of those people, of us. So what we have to do, not only does it become necessary for us to re-educate ourselves, but we have to re-educate the public that supports us. And redefine what we do. And one of the only ways that we can do that is with these kinds of social projects that you're talking about. That's not to say that we abandon painting or abandon sculpture or abandon any other kind of studio practice that people have developed and cultivated after all these years. Nobody's saying that we need to abandon all that stuff. It's just that we become more inclusive in our practice. We become more aware of our role. We become more aware of the society. We become more aware of our needs. We get to the point where we can do it just like you did in Tanzania. Go into a community, recognize a need, understand the problem, communicate with the individuals that are in need, and then innovate a way to address those needs in the society in an effective way. Then we validate our role in the society. People understand who we are and what we do. So that's where we are. That's where we are now, at the point of redefinition and reassignment, raising awareness, a point where we can achieve maximum efficacy by going in and recognizing and addressing these problems in an effective way. So, sorry, that's
Yeah, I was
that's
thinking.
just how I feel about it.
I was thinking how to deal with my project because it's. Yeah, but of course it takes time, and I myself also understand what can I do, and it's easy that the money can resolve, and I don't have money, and I'm nothing, and it's always kind of stopped my creative idea, like to apply to this project, and because people ask me money, and people believe that money can resolve the problem, and I feel like really. I'm poor artist, and what can I do? What can I do? And I'm just confused, and kind of instead of looking at this problem, it's just giving up.
I think also that when we have these concepts, this culture and art, and many times it is like in Finnish culture politics, it is the same that we make it similar. We see culture as art.
Culture and art, yeah.
It is that we identify them. So culture is much more wider respect to society.
Yeah.
And I think that artists and art could also find their place in this culture field. And there is education, there is all kind of everyday life, agriculture, politics, farming, politics, whatever. And I think it is just this discussion and these connections of artists and art to society at the same level.
And I think I'm thinking so that it's very important to understand that art is a part of that culture in everyday life. So it's there. It's not that there is art, here is culture, and there are people, but there is art is a part of the life. In a same way, in like politics, it's a part of life, and eating is a part of life, and that all is a part of life. And art, maybe it's mentally it's a little bit more than just eating, because we get something else than just something for living ordinary days. Art gives some extra so that we have some other meaning than to be eater.
Yeah.
But it's not so very extraordinary thing in people's life, because it is a part of the life, and you can you can enjoy of that point of view in your life, and it gives you something more than that just ordinary things that you see everywhere. If you want to see a different way, then you can use your own inside artists, and you can get some or the influence to the other people. You can get something from there for your life. And artists can, if we are talking about artists, they can give you some a different point of view for your life, and so that you can see everything around you a different way.
I'm very wondering, because I was thinking that how can I do as an artist, how can I do as a human? The big difference is, should I document this? This is very, very important. If I do something for human,
Yeah.
as a human, like helping out,
Yeah.
talking to people, and like sharing the problems. This, if it's not as an artist, I don't need to document at all. This happen every night, every day, and listening people.
Yeah.
And this is also some kind of project, or like, everyday life.
Yeah.
Can be like close to the art, but if I recognize myself, this is as an artist, of course I have to document. Like the video or lighting or recording, and this disturbing a lot for the project, I thought, because it's missing a lot of things.
I understand it.
Like
very
communicate, because people stop talking in front of a video.
well. That's right.
People stop,
Yeah.
and also I stop thinking, or
Yeah.
have to, as an artist, I have to also thinking about how it's the best way to document, and then I just sometimes spend the time for other things, energy too. That's I'm wondering.
Yes.
Why should you document it?
Yeah,
If
if it's art project.
Yeah, but there is another kind of art as well. One part of art is film, and then it's made a different way, and it stays for the.
What is the difference?
The difference is that when you are making a film, more people can see it, because it's like a documentation in a film.
Yeah, but that makes a problem.
Yeah, but it's when the art is a film art, it doesn't make the problem, because you're a filmmaker then. I'm not talking about you, but then it's another kind of art to make films, and then they are documentation in the same time, because they stay for people to see after 20, 40, 100 years, and you can see that piece of art, and it's film, or it can be video. But another thing is that they call that documentation, and your documents